Oh, hello. Got me to need some plastic glue, probably. Snips, clippers, maybe something else. Oh, does this thing have a poster inside it? That's something. Hello! Oh, it's a poster of a Desolation Marine. How ironic. The Marine that nobody uses. That's kind of ironic, right? It also comes with Ultramarines transfer sheets. Who wants those? Get those in the bin. No one wants those. Here's a base though. I'll need that. Man, I never even knew this Strike Force Augustus had a book with it. What does it even got some old rules, I guess. Desolation Marines. How many points were they in this book? 35 points a model. Oh, this is 9th edition. This was when models had points. Models had war gear. Fun times, huh? Oh, okay. Well, here we go. Ironically, the unit that nobody uses is the one that there's a poster of. Cool. Good afternoon, anyone tuning in. Nice to see you. I'm only going to be live for like an hour today. I forgot I'm going to a wedding this evening. Does that book have the instructions on how to make these things? Oh, no, it doesn't. Which means I put the instructions in some ridiculous place, probably. Oh, kill me. Where would the instructions be? I've tidied up this entire office. It used to be there. Where on earth would the instructions be now? Where would they be? I did tidy everything up. Look at that. Found them in 2 seconds flat. How good is that? Yeah. I guess my tidying up was good. Cool. So you start with the brutalis. The brutalis dreadnought is what we're looking at. If anyone has any questions. It just dropped. What was it, like 20 points? 30 points? So yeah, pretty much all my warhammering comes down to what is competitive, or what I deem could be competitive. Brutalis Dreadnought feels like it could be worth a try now at 160 points. It is T10, it does have a 2-up save. It does do a lot of mortal wounds on the charge. Like, statistically, I think it does, if you pay 1 CV for tank shock, it does 8 mortal wounds on the charge on average. So, that's average, so that could swing much higher. The Brutalis at last, exactly, Eternal Crusader, they finally made it. They finally took the cost of it down. I don't know how I came across it, but I came across the other day, something that said when Strike Force Augustus launched. I think I was looking for a receipt, for like something that I bought Warhammer, and I saw the receipt for my Strike Force Augustus, and it was like, at this point it was over a year ago, over a year and like 2 months. I think it was February or March last year. So yeah, it's been on the sprue for a year and change, but now finally we might see it. So I'm going to build my one anyway. I've got some red spray paint as well. I don't know if I can get it built in an hour. I've only got about an hour because I got to drop my kids off at the babysitters because we have a wedding tonight, which I knew that there was a wedding this weekend. So when I was saying earlier in the week that I'll stream on Saturday and I'll build my Brutalis, I was like, I knew I was going to a wedding, so I just don't know why I got my wires crossed, I guess. Hello everybody, nice to see you. I hope you're, are people building new lists yet? Anyone played with the new points cost yet? Eternal Crusader just built a third Brutalis, man, you're crazy. Lands finishers and aggressors that no one uses anymore, yeah. That's usually how it works. Aggressors are so... This is a real problem, I think. Aggressors in Gladius should be more costly than aggressors in all the other detachments, because they're amazing in Gladius, they're kind of average in the other detachments. And it's a real problem, I think, with 10th edition, where units get nerfed because they're good in one detachment, and people in another detachment that wanted to field them just can't. I might actually make a video on that, because someone on the chat was saying that they'd been waiting months to field a Stormraven for Blood Angels. They felt like it was too expensive to field, they couldn't field it. They were really hopeful that the balanced data slate might drop its points so that they could field it, and the points went up. And the reason the points went up, I guess, is because Dark Angels, Gladius can use them, and they can be oppressive, but no one else can use them, just Dark Angels. So, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Buffalo, hello. David's building Mephiston at last. Oh, well, cool. Are you building it just because you got a points drop, or are you building it just because you just got them? Fire Discipline is a real issue for aggressors. Yeah, I mean, Fire Discipline is the issue, 100%. I mean, in a way, it's also an issue for Eradicators, right? So in the future, we might see Eradicators go up in points. But again, Eradicators are going up in points because of one enhancement in one detachment. And I think it's a pretty rubbish way to have to balance the game. So you have to nerf it for everybody because one random person or one random detachment is doing it. And there's a lot of Space Marine detachments. And I don't think it's ideal. I really don't. Because I was thinking, like, with these points drops and stuff, I was trying to think to myself some things I might want to do. And if aggressors had still been whatever they were, like 90 points for 3, I think I would have probably fielded some aggressors. Maybe they were 100 points for 3, I don't remember. But they're now 120 for 3, and I'm thinking 120 for 3, I can't field them in Sons of Sanguinius, it's not good enough. They're only 30 points less than Centurions, and I think Centurions are far better. Yeah, I mean, Centurions are far better, I guess. So, Ian said he thought the Mortals were limited to 5 for Tank Shock. Mortals from Tank Shock are actually limited to 6, right, Ian? But the Brutalis also has his own ability that does another 6, potentially, on his charge. So statistically, he should do 5 from Tank Shock and 3 from his ability, but you could cap both and do 12. So 8 mortal wounds on average. I guess it's going to swing somewhere between 4 and 12. I think that's pretty good, actually. I think that's a good number. It's one of the highest numbers of mortal wounds for a single model, I think, in the game at the moment. So I think that can be pretty good. I think it definitely seems like it'd be worth trying for 160 points, right? So how does this stick together? Something like that? I think that's right. They tried to nerf the enhancement, but people still use it. Yeah, they made the enhancement more expensive, right? Did the enhancement maybe just need to get even more expensive? Like, how would you have fixed it if it was up to you, Phil? Vicious Strike. I feel like limiting some enhancement to certain types would be the move without overhauling a bunch of things. No Gravis for Fire Discipline or something like that. Yeah, I mean, they've made it difficult on themselves by doing the enhancements and stuff that the way that they've done it in 10th edition. I don't think 10th edition is necessarily bad. I guess something... It's not ideal, I guess. That, like... So there was like a hot minute there when everybody could use aggressors and everyone felt they were really good, and then very quickly only Gladius can use aggressors and feel that they're good, and now it's like, well, Gladius can use aggressors and feel like they're okay. I'm not necessarily sure I feel like they're good anymore because they're so expensive to make work now. But that's the reality of it. Hello, Mullen. I think a chaplain with Blade Guard are viable now because if you run 2 Death Company Dreadnoughts, it's easier to have them in range of the OC. Yeah, I mean, anyone that's running, even Jump Intercessors attached with a chaplain, Mullen, wouldn't actually be the worst idea. To get more chaplains on the board, they are fairly cheap. I think the +1 from wound, +1 to wound from the chaplains is actually very good, right? Because when you get charged as a Blood Angels player, and it does happen pretty much every game, you will be charged at some point. When you are charged, you are very weak. You don't get your +1 to strength, or sorry, I guess +2 to strength now, right? You don't get your additional attack. So when you are charged, you are weak as a Blood Angels player. I think the biggest drawback probably for Blood Angels is you can only fall back and recharge with 1 unit a turn. Whereas in Gladius, you can fall back with your whole army and shoot and charge. Another me being jealous a little bit about Gladius. But anyway, when you are charged, you are very weak as Blood Angels. And you actually don't want to be getting charged at all. I mean, you're going to get charged at some point, right? And maybe the Sanguinar will help out a little bit with that, or maybe a Judiciar will help out a bit with that, but you are weak. However, that Chaplain ability is not Lance, and that's good, right? Because Lance only works when you are charging, whereas the Chaplain ability works all the time. So I think it's worth noting that attaching a Chaplain to any squad, even like Jump Intercessors, for example, I think is not a bad thing. Sanguinar says, question, have you thought about 2 squads of Blade Guard with the Judiciar? I like the Blade Guard a lot with the Judiciar. Have I thought about 2 squads? I did run 2 squads a few weeks ago. I ran a 6 and a 3. I feel like there's maybe a bit diminishing returns on trying to run multiple squads of Blade Guard. I like them with the Judiciar, but remember, you only get to fight once. You only get to fight once per turn. So if they do manage to charge both Blade Guard, only 1 unit is going to get to fight first. Yeah, 6 Blade Guard with a Judiciar is a good unit. I think in a way they're very similar to Sanguinary Guard, if not maybe just a little bit more like they do the same damage as Sanguinary Guard, and they're a little bit more durable probably. Full Boss Vanguard Spearhead has limited enhancements. Oh, I suppose the Full Boss / Vanguard does have some limited enhancements. Yeah, that's right. Maybe that would actually be a way to go. Maybe you're right, Vicious Strike. I am starting to build my Brutalis. I'm probably not going to get it done today because I forgot that we have a wedding this evening that we're going to. So I can't stream tonight because I'm going to the wedding. So I thought I'd jump on for about an hour, do a little bit, get a start, maybe get his legs together or something. Would the Chaplain's ability stack with Lance? No, because you can never stack more than +1 to a certain dice roll for armor saves or hits or wounds. The difference would be, I guess, Michael, is if the enemy was making you -1 to wound. So if you were getting -1 to wound, I guess like those orcs that are like -1 if you're hitting them with higher strength than their toughness, they're making you -1 to wound, then the Chaplain's +1 to wound would make you back to 0 essentially, and then Lance would indeed give you +1 to wound. So you can get +2, but you can never modify the initial result more than 1. So like if he's modifying you -1, you can then modify yourself back up 2. So if you're fighting a unit that was -1 to wound, and you have +2 to wound, then you will modify it back to +1, right? Where do these little things go? I have no idea. Hobby and chatting, Reziel, how are you doing? I'm only on for like an hour. I forgot I have a wedding to go to tonight, so hobbying while chatting about rules and changes, I guess. Hi, Paul. Was there another question there? Blood Buffalo says he's winning a lot more in 10th than he was in 9th. Good for you, man. Maybe you just finally... Maybe things just finally are clicking for you. That can happen. Nathan. I wanted to explain my enthusiasm for Hellblaster, Lieutenant Fire Discipline over Aggressors. Your analyst showed Aggressors usually do more damage, but... Don't leave us hanging, Nathan. I mean, Hellblaster's with the Fire Discipline... I guess it would be like a Lieutenant, right? To give lethal hits, critical hits, fall back and shoot. I think it's good. So we have agreed, thanks for the t-shirt idea, Scum. I have spoken to Brett and we have agreed on the t-shirt idea. So I'm going to make a mental note. I'm going to write on a bit of paper in front of me to pay Brett, because I promised him I'd pay him on like Thursday night and it's friggin' Saturday and have not paid him. Pay Brett. I'll pay him right after the stream, right? I'll leave that on my desk to remind myself to pay him. We have agreed on the t-shirt idea. I can tell you it, but it'll be a bit of a spoiler. So if you want it spoiled, I'll tell you it. But I honestly think it's a great idea. Sorry, Nathan. Are you telling me more? Come on, Nathan. Tell me more. I think the Brutalises are worth a shot at 100 and... what's it, 160 points, Rez? Where the frick does this little thing stick? Am I being dense? Probably. Oh, right, like that. Well, that wasn't obvious at all. So it sticks in and it's sticking out a bit, yeah. It's a Scottish Blood Angel shirt. No, it's going to be better than that. I'll tell you in a second. Shoot on death can prevent opponent from scoring secondaries, or shoot the second of 2 units planning to shoot you. Vicious Strike only found the channel last week. Yeah, I always get people that just found the channel, man. It's not like I've been under a rock. I've been here. But welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for the $2, Blood Buffalo. You're a great supporter. Always helping out. I do appreciate it. Mullen, a chaplain with a unit of 5 jump ints is already a good amount of mortal wounds. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's 3 mortal wounds every time they charge. I guess if you're going to run Death Company Dreadnoughts, you're probably going to want to try and find out ways to get a few more chaplains in your list. And I don't think chaplains are bad at all. Between the lieutenants' fallback and shoot, and the guns being assault, you can sling them into one corner with the Librarian Dread, then run them back, and then sling them to one corner on the next turn. Do you know what, Nathan? I painted the 10 Hellblasters that came in the... What the hell was that box? It was called Dark Imperium, and it came out probably like 6 years ago. So I painted the 10 Hellblasters in the Dark Imperium box about 6 years ago, I guess. And I do not think I have ever put them on the tabletop. Maybe one time when I knew nothing about... Like, I would just come back to 40k, I ran like one squad of 5 Hellblasters. But I've never given them any sort of serious consideration and or play. So maybe I should. Maybe I should... now is a time to experiment, right? Because everything has changed. Hellblasters went down in points, I think. I guess no one was running them, so they went down in points. One of the few Space Marine units that went down in points, I feel like. I was thinking that, like... Because someone was saying you could put them inside an Impulsor, and I was like, yeah, I don't think they're too bad inside of an Impulsor. Like, 5 of them just taking the mortal wounds onto the Impulsor, right? My favourite has been MSU with Liberty Dread, no characters. Yeah, I mean, you could do very few characters, right? I'm going to exclude Death Company and switch to Firestorm. What do you think is going to be good about Firestorm for Blood Angels? The Battle Predators? What would be the best bit of lore for someone who's interested in Blood Angels? You mean if you're just starting Blood Angels and you're looking for a book to buy or something like that? Gaming Stuka. Because if that's what you are, I can easily recommend that. So here's the deal. Here's what the new BAC t-shirt is going to be. It is going to be Mephiston. You remember the old art from the 2nd edition codex of Mephiston? And how it like echoes his Primaris model a little bit? You guys remember that? We are going to take... Where is it? Coming up any second. Oh, I'll flip past it. We're going to take this piece of art of Mephiston. Use that as inspiration, right? And also we'll use the Primaris Mephiston as well. So we're going to use this with the Primaris Mephiston with his like plasma pistol in his hand. And we're going to pose him in this pose. Like, so he's got his plasma pistol out front, this is Mephiston, this is a sword, his sword might be up, his sword might be down, depending on what it looks like. And then we might even use this bit here, and reskin this, and it'll say like BA Commander above or below. So that's what the first official BA Commander t-shirt is going to be. I imagine it's probably going to take us about a month to get it together. But that's what we're going to be working on. I think it sounds dope. There is a book out right now. I think it's on Amazon. I think if you hit Amazon, I can maybe even get you a link to it. 1 second. Because it's out literally right now. It's called Lords of Blood. And what it is I'll put it in chat. Oh no, that's not the link in chat. Come on, computer. I'll put it in chat right now. Lords of Blood is a Blood Angels omnibus by Guy Haley that includes 3 books, I think. Let me see. Baal doesn't actually say very well in the description. I think it's the Lords of Blood omnibus. I believe it includes the 3 books that he's written about Blood Angels. Right? Did anyone buy it? I think it includes Dante, which is a great book, and that's probably where you want to start, right? Read the book about Dante. It basically follows Dante's life from when he was a kid growing up to becoming the chapter master. It's a great book. Then it goes into Devastation of Baal. And then I think it goes into the book after Devastation of Baal. I've read it. I think I've got it. Probably sitting... I have cleaned up this room, so it could be sitting somewhere obscure. It's not the Astrath one. It's... What's the book after Devastation of Baal? Someone in chat tell me. God. My brain's not working this afternoon. The omnibus by Guy Haley contains Dante, the Devastation of Blood, and Darkness in the Blood. Yes, perfect. It also contains the Astrath book and a short story. Oh, well, the Astrath book's good as well. I just finished that one maybe like 3 months ago, 6 months ago. I enjoyed the Astrath book. So all 4 of those books are worth reading. Darkness in the Blood, thanks guys. Yeah. So, if you need a book, and it's on Amazon for like 13 quid. That's pretty good for all 4 books, to be honest. And that's a lot of reading as well. That, like, if you just started start to finish, I think that would take you like... Well, I usually do audiobooks, a couple of chapters a day sort of thing. So it'd probably take me like 2 months to get through that. Alright, did this bit go in the back here? Yes. I wanted to buy Lords of Blood as well, just because I don't own... like, I don't own the Dante book in paperback. I have Devastation of Baal. I have Astaroth in hardback. But yeah, I was thinking of buying Lords of Blood just to get Dante, because I definitely enjoy getting a bunch of my books on Audible, because I have a long walk to work every day, like half an hour, so I basically do like a chapter every day. Oh shit, don't drop it on the floor. Good. Okay, Blood Buffalo, get Lords of Blood. I read Devastation before Dante. I like finding out about Dante after his big hero moment. Blood Buffalo, it was you that told me to start watching the Fallout TV show, right? Thank you so much for the $5. So I assume everybody that built their Brutalis is putting the nipple-mounted multi-meltas on, right? I don't think you would really need to mount nipple... it's nipple-mounted multi-melters or nipple-mounted heavy bolters. Heavy bolters just literally do nothing in the current meta, so I guess we'll take the multi-meltas. Multi-meltas! Not the multi-meltas seem to do all that much more, but I feel like they do better than heavy bolters. I honestly can't...
Blood Buffalo donated $5 via Super Chat.
Remember the last time I was impressed with a heavy bolter.
I read Devastation before Dante.
Still did the heavy bolters,
I liked finding out about Dante after his big hero moment.
Hello Jeff, how you doing?
Darkness puts a good bow on it.
You magnetized yours. It's probably a good idea, but I guess if the Brutalis is a good dreadnought, I already have 3 Redemptors, I already got 2 Ballistuses. So I guess if this is a good dreadnought, then probably I'm going to buy another one, so maybe I'll magnetize the other one. Interesting that the sarcophagus, the front of the sarcophagus is a singular piece on this Brutalis kit. That would have been a cool... I'm trying to think if I have like a spare Blood Angels sarcophagus from like a Blood Angel, like a regular Blood Angel dreadnought that I could just rip off and put on, but I bet you even if I did, it probably wouldn't be the right size. Interesting that they put the sarcophagus on as like a singular piece. That would be good for an upgrade kit, wouldn't it? The Astaroth book reads like an American vampire novel. Detective noir in Swamp, Louisiana. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty swampy, that the Astaroth book, wasn't it? I feel like the Astaroth book portrayed the Imperial Guard in that book as complete idiots. Or like, were the Imperial Guard more like just like the humans, the native humans that lived on that planet? They're just like stick their head in the sand. It's like the whole planet's being affected by the warp. Oh well, you know, we don't really care. We think everything will be fine. That big warp thing in the air, not the problem. We'll just ignore it. Don't fully glue in the chest guns and you can just pull them out. Alright, let me see. I appreciate the feedback. Maybe I'll try. Alright, let me just build the heavy bolters as well then. Why not? Chrono saying hello, how you doing? Which parts are the heavy bolters? These 3. Nope. But yeah, my plan for Monday night is to try and figure out some new Blood Angels lists. So I'm gonna build a load, I think. I'm gonna try and make a video about just experimenting, I guess. Like, I'm gonna experiment for a while. I think I want to say I finally got Death Company Dreadnought last night. Nice. I think I'm actually gonna just run. I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna give Dante and some Sangre Guard a try. I haven't decided if I'm doing a 5 or a 10. Part of me thinks I'm just going to do a 10-man Sangre Guard and see what happens, right? I don't even know if I've run them one time in 10th edition, honestly. Anyone run 10 recently? Anyone run 10 since the balance up's up? Yeah, Fallout has been a pretty good show. Do you know what? I don't really know the Fallout game. I completely don't know. I've never played it. I haven't played any of the Fallout games. Not 1, 2, 3, or 4. I think there were some in between as well, like Vegas or something. I haven't played any of them. And I also haven't played any of the Last of Us games. But The Last of Us is honestly one of my favourite TV shows that I've seen in the last few years. I really enjoyed Last of Us. I felt like it was like a good version of The Walking Dead. Because Walking Dead, I think they tried to make too many series of Walking Dead. Like, I think it was good at the start, and then they just tried to drag it out forever. But I really liked Last of Us. So, Fallout feels, to me, like a similar level of quality of Last of Us. I might just like Last of Us more because it's the guy that plays Mandalorian and Pedro Pascal, is it? I thought he was awesome in Last of Us. I'm very excited for Season 2 of Last of Us. I don't think there's a date on that yet, but I am excited for it. As a Dark Angels player, even if Azrael becomes bad, I'll still run him. He's definitely the strongest chapter master. Yeah, I know he's super strong, man. For 105 points, I think he's awesome. Excuse me, if I could run Azrael, I would run him. I think he's well worth it. Azrael gives like a bubble, like a 6-inch bubble of 4-up in Van save. It's crazy good for 100 points. Like, if Dante gave that, then we would be honestly praising, even if Dante stayed at the points he was, if he had that, we'd be all taking Dante. We'd be like, Dante's amazing. I was half tempted to film a video about the units that have been ignored again for another balance slate and ask Games Workshop, like, why do we have all these units in the Codex if they get ignored for competitive play time after time? Like, everybody's bought these models, you know, and they literally said in one of their videos, we don't want to make it that models get nerfed into oblivion. They said that. Well, what about Desolation Marines? They're nerfed into oblivion. What about Aggressors, arguably? Is anyone still running Aggressors? Since they went up to 120 points, and then you need the captain, and you need Apothecary, and you need an enhancement, you need command points. There's too many units for them to deal with, and they don't have enough data. Yeah, well, they could just look at the units that nobody plays and maybe drop them 5 points. Right? I'm gonna make a video where I email them and say, this unit nobody plays. This unit nobody plays. This unit nobody plays. I don't know. They gotta do something, man. I bought 15 Desolation Marines. I thought they were pretty good. Apparently they were. Yeah, they did drop tactical squads. I don't know if that makes any difference. Was anyone excited about the tactical squad drop? Is anyone going to be now running a tactical squad? Is that on anyone's is that front and center in anyone's mind? Anyone went, woo, tactical squads down 20 points. Let me get my tactical squads out. They have AP0 bolters. They will be most useful. I actually don't even know if they have rapid fire on tactical squad bolters anymore. It's been so long since I looked at them. Sean says the tactical squad drop is a desperate attempt to sell more tactical squads before they go legends. Yeah, I don't know how many more editions tactical squads are going to last. I came back to this hobby let me think. Around the time of the launch box for Dark Imperium, that was the thing that really got me back into the hobby, because before then I'd been on like a 10-year hiatus. So I've been back in the hobby now like probably close to 7 years, because they usually release the launch boxes in like June or July, right? So I've been back 7 years, and I play one game a week, so that'd be about 350 games. I go to the odd tournament, let's say that's another 100 games from the tournaments I've been to. So I've played 450 games in the last 7 years. I can literally count on one finger the number of times I've seen a tactical squad. Zero. No one runs them. No one has run them against me. I have never run them. I mean, essentially they are wasted paper in the codex. They're trees cut down for tactical squads that didn't need to be cut down. In chat, tell me the last time you fielded a tactical squad, or you played against a tactical squad. Let's get some data. Let's see what people are saying. Someone's gonna say, I played it yesterday at 140 points and they're awesome. Who's gonna be? It's gonna be. Let me think. Who's gonna say that? Someone. 3rd edition. Okay, good. So someone played a tactical squad before the turn of the millennia. Good. That's about the last time I played a tactical squad, honestly. Yeah. Maybe at the start of 4th edition, I played a bunch of tactical squads. Oh no, Reziel fielded some in 9th edition. God damn it. Okay, somebody did it. Eternal Crusader says never. Dwayne, hello. Kushla paid one like 7 years ago. Okay. Tactical squads just I don't know, man. Bud Buffalo says never have. Well, I actually ran 3 in 9th edition. You mentalist, Phil. Why the hell are you running 3 tactical squads for? Are you just trying to lose? Like, you didn't have any other models? When I came back in 9th edition, that's all I had. See, I bought the, what was it? The Dark Imperium box set. So I had some intercessors. So I never used tactical squads. I usually use some intercessors. What do tactical squads get at the moment? They have fall back and shoot or something nonsense. I don't know if you can hear that rain, but it is raining hella heavy. We had hailstones this week in Scotland. They used to be able to be combat squadded. They can still do that? Maybe that. Oh, maybe that's what makes them good. But yeah, no one runs them, man. Oh. I don't know why they dropped the points on them. Honestly, no one runs them. No one will run them at the new points. No one ran them at the old points. They're the same thing as like Sangregard. The points aren't the reason necessarily why people don't run them. I mean, I guess if you're running all firstborn lists, you're kind of stuck to have to run some tactical squads, huh? So you think you don't need to glue these guns in, huh, Rez? How do they fit in? Have I got the wrong one here? I see, so you would just maybe put a tiny magnet in the back. And it like push fits in. Interesting. It actually says don't glue that. You're supposed to just push that in and then you can put the different weapon options in. I think I'd glue it in. I don't really care about the bolters being able to be aimed up or down. Yeah, it's a pretty snug fit. I see what you mean. You probably don't need to glue these guns in. I feel like I will put a magnet in them though, because I think if I don't, one of them will fall out sometime at a tournament and I won't notice it and I'll lose a gun and that'll annoy me. They might see play once they go below 10 points per model. Yeah, regular intercessors are still 85, is that right? Oops, wrong side. I think it would be worth magnetizing those guns. Can't decide. Use a tiny magnet. Yeah, I've got some. I'm sure I've got some 1x1, like 1mm by 1mm by 1mm. Maybe I'll check after the stream, and if I don't, I'll order a couple. I was thinking about this the other day. I can't remember what. I think it was for the. Remember, I ripped a ball predator apart and put the flamer. Like, I built custom flamers for that ball predator. I don't know if I showed you that I got the custom flamers I ended up making, but I did make custom flamers for it. Yeah, like this ball predator here, these flame cannons are like built. They're like a conjoined twin of like this bit here was metal. This was the plastic flamer from another ball predator kit, and this is like a metal tanks stuck on the side, and then this is like a grenade that I put the pipes into. So this is supposed to look a bit like a flamer, but it's actually just like jerry rigged from like 2 or 3 different pieces. And when I was ripping the heavy bolters apart to try and get these flamers onto this ball predator, I was thinking to myself, when was the last time that I felt a heavy bolter was a good weapon? And the answer to my question was, I can't remember the last time I thought that heavy bolter was a good weapon. So because of that, I didn't feel too bad about jerry rigging these custom flamers to my finished ball predator or whatnot, because I had to sort of rip it apart, right? I've been meaning to ask, does the jump pack captain +1 strengthen the charge to stack with their detachment rule? It does indeed. So captains will make other units strength +3, I guess, when they make that charge, right? You're most welcome, Tanner. Hello. Alright, like I said, I got this wedding to go to tonight, and I forgot that I don't know how I forgot. I think it was a very busy week. I was filming for the Grots. I was filming for BAC. I made a really long tactics video yesterday, the one that came out on Friday. I mean, the video didn't get a lot of views, but it did take a lot of time to make. Sometimes that's the way of YouTube. You can spend ages making a video and doesn't get a lot of views, or you can spend very little time making a video and you get lots of views. YouTube is tricky like that. It's why I probably wouldn't like to do YouTube as a full-time thing, because that's very frustrating, where you you make a video you think is good, but for whatever reason it doesn't pick up the views, you haven't got the subject matter right, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, I guess I just had a busy week, and when the points costs came out, the first thing that I sort of thought was like, I should probably get round to building that brutalis dreadnought. So I'd said like, I'll build it on Saturday on my stream on Saturday, because I usually just stream Saturdays, right? Saturday afternoon, Saturday nights. And then I was like, oh, how's that going to work? Because I'm at a wedding and I don't know how long I'll be before I'm home, I guess. I really do think that they're going to make a custom Crozius front panel. That would be very cool if they did that. Like a Blood Angels, not Crozius, sorry, a sarcophagus panel. Jim says, I prefer the bolter sponsons on the ball. Average of 5 2 damage hits over 7 1 damage. Yeah, I mean, I guess the reason to take the flamers, Jim, would be because I'm trying to Overwatch, right? And I guess statistically auto-hitting flamers probably are better. But I have another Ball Predator with bolters on it that I left as was. So if I want, I can just pick up that flame storm cannon that I've made now, that I've like stuck together, I guess, and put it on the other Ball Predator that's got the bolters. So I've got choices now. Maybe I do need, I don't know. Heavy bolters for me are a funny weapon. A lot of things get cover a lot of the time, so the 1 AP gets eaten up a lot of the time, and then it doesn't feel that meaningful. I'm using the captain to give the Sangre Guard strength 8 on the charge. Yeah, I was thinking that. Sangre Guard strength 8 on the charge and then Oath of Moment, right? Is that better than what Dante gives? The +1 to charge? Because if your Sangre Guard don't make your charge, you're going to be in a pretty shit situation, right? So you need them to make the charge. But I suppose, like, probably if I'm going to run Dante +10 Sangre Guard, I'm definitely going to Rapid Ingress them. I feel like I'd be too scared to start them on the board because 2 Wound Marines die hella fast. It's one of the reasons I think at the last tournament I was looking back at the list trying to figure out, because I did pretty well at the last tournament. Like, I was literally 1 dice throw away from like 3rd, I think. I needed, and what's messed up is the dice throw was a 2-up teleport. So on a single dice throw of 2-up, I finished 3rd, which is pretty good, right? Like, you know, at the time I was upset, but if you look back in hindsight, and if I told you right now you could go to GT tomorrow and you could have a roll in game 5 and you need a 2-up on the roll and you finish top 3. Like, I would take that. Like, if someone said to me, you know, like, if someone said to me before the tournament, this is what you can have, I would be like, yeah, cool, that sounds great. You know, like, because in 5 of the 6 multiverse dimensions, I finished top 3 at that tournament. In this dimension, I finished 6, because I rolled a friggin' 1. But in 5 of the 6 multiverse dimensions, I did well. So you would take that, right? But that list had 22 Gravis Marines in it. And then when you play 22 Gravis Marines as a Blood Angels player, I think a certain there's a certain, you know, like, for example, the game I played against Orcs this week, I lost the game because it was probably my first game against the new Orc Codex. Right? Like, if I knew all the tricks and shenanigans that the Orc Codex could do, I must admit, I never even looked at the Orc Codex before the game. Like, I hadn't actually seen the Orc Codex. He sent me the list at half midnight the night before, so I literally never even looked at the list. The first time I saw it was when we were playing, and Orcs are very, very deadly with their WAG, and I think they're even more deadly now with their 10th edition WAG, right? So when you play Blood Angels with 22 Gravis Marines, some of your opponents will be like, I know what Blood Angels do. They have lots of jump infantry, and they attack me with all their strength. With all their T4 jump infantry, and then they get to the table and they look at the list and they're like, hold on a minute, this Blood Angels player has 2 Vindicator tanks and a repulsor and 22 Gravis Marines and 6 Eradicators and 6 Aggressors and 5 Heavy Intercessors. I don't know how I'm supposed to play against this because no one has ever brought that against me before. No, I've never played a Blood Angels player that's brought that before, right? So, that's a thing, I think, to consider as well. Like, maybe I amn't that great at tournaments, but I take unorthodox shit that people don't know how to deal with. Heavy Intercessors, my beloved. Yeah, I love them. I really do love them. I think they're brilliant into... I was playing World Eaters a lot, and I felt like every single time the World Eaters player would charge me, I would lose so much stuff. Except if I have Heavy Intercessors, because Heavy Intercessors just seem to be like they seem good against 8-bound. They seemed good against Berserkers. I'm not sure they were that good against Exalted 8-bound, but the couple of games I played them against regular 8-bound and Berserkers, they survived so much. Like 9 times out of 10, a squad of 5 toughness 4 Marines is dead. With the Heavy Intercessors, it's like I lose 1 or 2 models. You playing off meta? I play off meta because I don't have all the meta units as well, Rez. Plus, I guess if you go all the way back to my roots in 40k as a Blood Angels player to begin with, my first lists were probably heavily shooting. Like, I feel like in 2nd edition we only really had one, or when I played 2nd edition, I really only had like 1 or 2 close combat units. I would have a bunch of Devastator squads, I had a bunch of tactical squads, I would have Predator tanks, I'd have attack bikes. Although we did have a Death Company and maybe a Terminator squad, it was never, I never had close combat Terminators back in the day, it was always shooting Terminators as well. Cyclone missile launchers, heavy flamers. Yeah. I like making my own lists though. I'd rather make my own list, I suppose, and lose than just copy one straight off the internet. You know, on the Ballistus Dreadnought, this whole middle piece is like 2 pieces. Whereas on this Brutalis, it's like 50 pieces. The Rough Riders went down, didn't they? The Rough Riders are not too bad, right? Do they still do mortals on the charge? I feel like I've looked at their 10th edition. It's been a while since I looked at the rules, but I feel like they do mortals on the charge. C1. And then C36. Yeah, in 2nd edition we were very much Red Marines, yes. I suppose Space Wolves were probably very much Grey Marines. Maybe Space Wolves a little bit less. I think they have like long fangs and maybe some other nonsense, I guess. C36. Space Wolves had lots of cool stuff, yeah. I mean, we possibly could have had quite a few assault squads and stuff in 2nd edition. I guess we had our unique assault squad, didn't we? With like flamers and meltaguns. These sprues are so dense now, man. Sometimes it's quite hard to find things. C33. 33. Oh, I'm being completely blind. Oh, it's this piece. Actually here. Space Wolves had the rule that broke every rule. What rule was that? Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, the competitive scene does look for the most efficient stuff all the time. I would like to win a tournament one time with some batshit crazy list res, and then be like, look, you don't need to follow the meta. I mean, you can, but you can also make your own list and win and do well in events. Yeah, one day. One day. I'll keep trying. My youngest kid is coming up to the age of 3 though, so that's going to get a lot easier for me to go to more events again. Because I have barely been to events, honestly, since we had our second kid, just because it's a bit much for my wife to leave her with like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old and another young kid all weekend, right? It's going to get a bit easier for me. The ballistus assembly time is 10 minutes. Yeah, I think I built 2 ballistuses in like 45 minutes, but the brutalis assembly is like 2 hours. Alright, well, I'm going to have to call it, like, it's 2 minutes to 4. I said I was going to be live for an hour, I've been live 57 minutes, so I've got like 3 more minutes. I've got to go drop the kids off at the babysitter for this wedding and shit tonight. But I'll have the army list show up tomorrow. So if you've got like a new list using the new points, and you want it reviewed tomorrow, send it to me. I mean, I don't know how much good I'll be at reviewing them tomorrow, but we'll do some, and hopefully I'll learn something, because I need to build a list. I'm playing Aldari on Wednesday. I'm on a giant, I think I've lost the last 4 games in a row that I've played, which is not great. It's probably one of the worst runs I've had for a while. Don't usually lose 4 in a row, but it's happened. You know, happens to the best of us, I guess. So I need to figure it out. I need to build a new list that's going to actually win some games again. How the hell is this supposed to work? Oh, I think I get it. You're supposed to glue this thing round it. Like that. Nope. Like that, yeah. So you can open or close the sarcophagus as you see fit. Okay, I'll try. Enjoy the wedding. What, always be charging at the wedding? Don't know about that. C-33, I sunk your battleship. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I think Blood Angels are a pretty high skill army at the moment, honestly. Like, I know some people are doing really well and winning tournaments with them, but I think they are high skill because I feel like my skill is above average. I want to say I'm like... I go to events a lot and I usually do 4 and 1. Sometimes I do 3 and 2, but I feel like I get 4 and 1 more often than I get 3 or 2. Somewhere in between there. So if we say that, like... Let's just say I'm 50 type... 50... I can't remember the last event I did worse than 3 and 2. Maybe 1 in the last 3 years. I've done 4 and 1 a couple of times, because so my win rate must be about 70%. And I think that sometimes I struggle to play Blood Angels, and I guess I'm a 70% win rate player, and I struggle sometimes. So yeah, because of that, I do think Blood Angels are quite a high skill army. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I guess this thing will open and close. I don't really know why I'd want to open it, but it can open. Cool, I'm going to glue this bit on and it's going to be my last bit, and then I'm going to go and get ready to go to this wedding. But yeah, so tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, we'll have the Army List show, and then I might be able to be live one other night next week as well, if we're going to just talk about lists and figure things out. We'll see. I thought I'd get more than that built in an hour. It's fine because I guess I'm gonna magnetize the guns. I think I'm gonna do that. So we got a start. We got the upper torso built. I guess that's a start. It's the rise to the light that makes us superior, is it? What book's that from, Sean? Oh, and I'll pay Brett. So we'll, because I'm paying him, we'll get this Blood Angels Commander t-shirt. I'm excited to see what the t-shirt looks like. I don't know how long it'll take him to draw this the example. Maybe a couple of months, maybe a month, I don't know. I don't want to have to chase him too much, so... Cool. Enjoy your afternoon, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Let us know if you've got any army lists for tomorrow. If you've played any games with the new points, I'd love to see them. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night about 7 o'clock. Peace out. Oh, 8 o'clock. I don't know why I said 7. It's 8 o'clock is live stream.